Hi everyone, my name is Pavlo Ostrikov, and this is Kinosereda, Kino Wednesday. So it's the online read through for previously unshot scripts with the support of Ukrainian Cultural Fund, and thank God we do have it. So if you're together with us, I think you already know that we'll read two interesting scripts, great scripts for short films, the script of the Soul of Iceberg by Kateryna Kotsyuba, and the script любоу, miłość by Kyrilo Zemlyanyi. And I'm really glad that I already know one Polish word. It's really good. And our webinar is not be just a waste of time. Will not be just a waste of time. So if you want to know how I'm doing, it's fine. And I do think that our screenwriters and directors do the same. So I do hope that these an hour and a half will really just vanish, and it will be really interesting for us. We'll get some use out of it. So before I remind you, before we start actually reading the script, you can send your questions to us, any kind of questions, absolutely, because the most important thing for us as screenwriters is to get your feedback, to get your opinion. And this is what helps us to improve our scenarios, So improve our work. This is something we really want to get from you. And a small bonus for you today. Kateryna and Kirill, today they'll pick the best questions, and you can even win some small bonus, like saying a cup of coffee at Vagabond, which is our partner. So if you're a big lover of Americano coffee, latte, I don't know, whatever you like, actually, cappuccino, you ask your question. So today we have very interesting guests. So we have Kateryna Kotsyuba. And she was a student of Roman Szymon, and she's already an experienced director, because one short film is really hard to make, but Katya already shot a couple of short films like Under the Wall, The Altitude, and she already took part in many international festivals. And also we have Kyrylo Zemlyany with us today, and he is a fourth year student at Taras Shevchenko University at Serhiy Badion's chair. So he will be a specialist in the sound. So why it's interesting, because Kyrylo already shot one film that we had presented to you, and he had some interesting feedbacks on his film. So it's really, we have really nice guests. I'm as nice as well. Kinosereda is doing even better. So let's start. And I think that we need to start. Let's meet. At least, Katya, Kyrylo, you're with us. Yeah, we're there. So how are you doing? Fine. It's great. So your mood, did you have something to drink? We did. We absolutely did. Because you'll have to read for quite a long time, and it's really hard for screenwriters to break the barrier, because we always write when we're alone or in silence, but you have to read to an audience, basically. So let's start with the cocktail, ladies first. So maybe you want to tell something before we actually start. Okay, I just want to say that finally it's already some time passed, and I'm reading my script again, and right now I understand what I need to improve again, what I need to edit. And actually right now I don't like, it's like I take it in an absolutely different light. It's really cool. Okay, so will you actually change something? Yes, I definitely will change something. Okay, so I guess we need to start. So the soul of iceberg, please, Kateryna. Okay, good. So we have a day in a hospital, a small boy, 4 years old. He's picking his nose, takes something out of that, looking at it, and eats it. Ruslan's watching that. 25 years. His mom sees that. Mother says to the boy, "No, throw it away." Mother is trying to take this out of his mouth. Now, do it. Just spit it out. Ruslan is looking left. There is a huge queue of elderly women On his right, the same bunch of people. The nurse is passing by, 27 years old. She has a cart with medicines. Ruslan's coughing. The nurse, please come with me. Ruslan gets up, goes with the nurse. They pass so many sick people, they come to an office. In a minute, the doctor will take you. She gives him a mask and leaves. Ruslan still stands at the door. He actually is looking behind at a woman with a man in masks. He's taking the mask on. Now the doctor, with his only eyes, asks Ruslan to come. Doctor's office. Ruslan is sitting in an armchair in front of the doctor. So, huge piece of glasses there. Okay, so we have your analysis results. And Ruslan's watching the dead fish. How do you feel? Ruslan? Ruslan does not respond. I really want your attention. Ruslan is looking at the doctor. So now we have your analysis, and the analysis tells us, the test tells us you have B15 virus. Okay, this is absolute shit.
As well, so I hope we'll have a chance to see that.
So now we have a list of medicines. Please, you need to pay for it. Now you'll go to the incubation room and you'll spend 80 days there. Okay, so we have again the hall. Ruslan is going the hall. So can I go to the bathroom? Please, just wait till we get you to the ward. I'm gonna do it in the hall. You know, you have flu. It's not something more serious. Please let me go. Please let me go. I want to spend it at home. I will never go anywhere. Ruslan is pushing the nurse and just runs in the hall, and we have some other nurses, more nurses in isolation, suits, masks, and then Ruslan is running down the stairs, goes out into the street. Now we have it outside. Ruslan is running out of the hospital. Bright sun is shining. He's almost free, and we have two nurses standing outside holding a net. Ruslan is looking to the right. Two nurses standing there and coming up to him. And now they cover him with a net, and they actually inject medicine in his neck, and he loses conscience. Isolation ward. Ruslan is opening his eyes. Everything is like in a dream. It's really slow. It's like slow motion. So there's a doctor and two nurses in isolation suits and isolation caps. The doctor is showing some signs to the nurses. They actually they tilt their heads and they go out. Ruslan is alone. He's conscious. He's looking at his ward. White ward. He sees a small window. He's putting table under the window, puts a chair, stands on it, and tries to get out of the window. Then we have the nurse coming with medicines and food and puts the Ruslan on the bed. You'll do it once more and we'll tie you. He loses conscience. Okay, so we have a day and again the ward. Ruslan is conscious, and a psychologist, a female psychologist, is sitting in front of him, 35 years, sorry. Ruslan, calm down. You're pretty inadequate. Like, you will not stay for long, like 18 days. I want to be free. But you are free. You are free. Ruslan is trying to get up, but he's tied to the bed. This is just for your own sake. This is for prevention purely. This is for prevention. This is just preventive measure. I really ask you. I'm sick. I'm afraid of doctors. I'm still here in this isolated space, and you tied me to my bed. This is not okay. I can even free you right now, but just please do behave. Last time you hit a nurse. The nurse attacked me. I just don't want to stay here. Just let me go. I'll be there alone. I'll take all the medicines. I will never go out. It's not the case. Okay, Ruslan, what will you do when you will be free? Nothing will change. You're unemployed. You run an apartment. You don't have a girlfriend. Okay, I didn't tell about this. Why are you such in a hurry? Why are you such in a hurry? You can just spend 2 days in this isolation ward. Untie me, and we'll talk like people. So then we'll have a nurse coming and untying Ruslan with a bruise under the eye. Okay, I came to you with this proposal. Ruslan's coughing and sitting. I can take you out of this place. The psychologist said, we are right now carrying out an experiment. Carrying out an experiment. And psychological experiment. And we do need, just give me a second. And we need volunteers. From one word to another? No, it's more interesting. It's more interesting. So we study the subconscious of person and we're looking for volunteers who really want to go inside, deeper. He's listening. Thanks to our research, we actually put the person into one's subconscious. We fully trace one's physical condition, fix, record one's behavior, and control the depth. Okay. Smiling so quickly. Well, but after this experiment, you let me go, okay? Ruslan asks. Psychologist is smiling, gives a folder to the nurse. The nurse gives it to Ruslan. There's a set of documents. This is a standard non-disclosure agreement. Ruslan is signing without reading. And again, we have the lab. Ruslan is sitting in an armchair. A young research fellow is connecting certain devices, recording his heartbeat, breath, and other physical indicators. The psychologist is watching. So, human psyche is separated into conscious, subconscious, and overconscious. So this is a new device, a new chemical formula that actually will allow you to go to the subconscious. This is the long-term memory. It's like a hard disk. Everything is stored here. Everything is stored here that we call the life experience. Okay, it's like you're delivering me a lecture right now. Our task is to try this chemical formula and actually understand more about how the subconscious, to understand more how the subconscious works. And what should I do? Well, nothing. Just trust us. Okay, some violet-colored liquid is injected into his head. In 5 minutes, it will work. So we will record your physical condition, and if something happens, we'll provide some medical care. Did you have any deaths? We will not see your visions, just your physical responses to the visions. It doesn't matter what you see there. It will not actually injure you. It will not damage you. So first you'll see us and hear us. This will be your conscience. You have to leave later. Did you have any deaths? Can you actually give me an answer? Laughing. She's laughing. Of course we had. You are the 100th patient. I start feeling okay. This is not okay. I start feeling it, and I don't want to sign it anymore. So do we need to turn this device 38? What? Okay, he loses conscience. Now, the round room. In the middle of the room, we have the psychologist and the research fellow. Ruslan is standing on the wall. Please turn on the mechanism to go into subconscious. How to do it? Find an exit out of the room. Ruslan is trying to look. He's trying to move in circles, touching the wall. He sees as the wallpaper goes out, starts taking the wallpaper out. There's the door. He's trying to open. These are closed. Ruslan is trying to hit it. Nothing works. And then he again looks at the room. It's empty. Ruslan sees the silhouettes of psychologists and research fellows sitting on the chairs. Are you here with me? I can see you. These are projections, psychologist said. Find an exit. I found it behind the wallpapers. It's closed. Now we have the laboratory. In reality, psychologist is running everything. Research fellow is checking the physical condition. The round room. Ruslan is trying to hit the door. It follows, and Ruslan is looking into the dark. Nothing's there. Psychologist, when you go into your subconscious, we will not see anything. You will not hear us, and you'll stay fully alone. When you will be ready, just jump. Ruslan is breathing out, preparing, and jumps into the dark. Subconscious and isolation word. Nothing but the dark. We can see some deep noise, outburst of light, tunnel. He's in the incubation ward, subjective camera. Ruslan is watching the ward, looking at his hands. These are women's hands. He slowly comes to the mirror. He can see himself as a woman. God, he's looking at himself, trying to see what's happening. He's touching himself, and there is no door. You can see it. And in the dark corner, there is a silhouette of a man, a bulky man. Ruslan is trying to ignore it, looks in the mirror, and again he's in his male body. He hits his head into the mirror, takes a piece of glass, and goes to the dark silhouette. He's not there, the silhouette. The light is blinking. Ruslan is changing his body, female and male, and all over again. Ruslan. I didn't want that to happen. This is like a horror movie. I hate horror movies. And again, the blinking light, we can hear strange noises. Everything falls from the ceiling. There's a shadow. Now the ward is an empty room where nothing is there. The light is off. We can hear her. He's nervously breathing. So the light is on. Ruslan is standing at the doctor's with knives. He's screaming. He's waving his hands. Now we have the light off. Have dark. No doctors. Again, the light. On and off. On and off. On and off. Small Ruslan, 5 years. He stands and plays with light. He's hit in the head. Father, stop playing. Then we have the adult Ruslan in the same ward. And we have in the corner the armchair. He's whispering, this is all illusion. This is all illusion. This is nothing but illusion. Again, we have the laboratory, the reality. Research fellow is looking at the device. Nervously. Very quick pulse, psychologist. Please, patient is in the zone of fear. Record the indicators. Subconscious isolation ward. Something takes Ruslan by his leg from the dark. He's screaming. There's a silhouette of bulky man in the armchair. Instead of Ruslan, we have a 5-year-old boy who is very afraid. The silhouette of a bulky guy in military uniform with the belt in his hand coming to Ruslan, small Ruslan. Reality laboratory. Ruslan is connected with the mechanism. He is shaking. Psychologist and research fellow are very surprised. Subconscious small scene. Ruslan, 5 years, standing on the small stage. All the light is turned to him. He wants to sing, but he lost his voice. An empty hall. The sweat is coming down his face. He's trying to talk, but he has no voice. The light is changing. Subconscious room in the apartment. Ruslan, 5 years old, is standing in the middle of the room in an apartment. A bulky guy is loudly closing the door and he goes out. The adult Ruslan is sitting naked on the floor. Ruslan raises his head and can see that in front of him there is, in the same position, there is a naked lady. He's surprised. The lady is surprised. He turns his head. The girl turns the head. Ruslan is moving. The girl is mirroring everything. Ruslan stands up and doing some funny things, and the girl repeats the same. They're laughing. The girl actually puts the index finger and saying shh and goes down. Reality laboratory. Ruslan is very exhilarated. The research fellow is seeing that and smiles. The psychologist is not reacting. So he's in what zone? The second dualistic theory of urge. Okay, read Freud. Okay, zone of Freud. Freud zone. Good. Very well. So, subconscious room in the apartment. The girl stands up and starts smiling. Can we stay here? Can we stay here? The room starts filling with red light. The girl is changing her face. So instead of smile, she has a grin, and she hits Ruslan in the knife with his heart. So they start falling on the floor where many naked people are making love. There's a lot of blood. He's trying to get out, but people are holding him. He's trying to fight these people, but he understands that there's no way to get out. He stops moving and he falls down into this bunch of people. Subconscious, we stand outdoors. There's sun shining, empty yard. So an old wooden building with open doors and windows. Ruslan is trying to validate everything. So flashback, outdoors. Some shots from his childhood. 5-year-old boy is eating an apple, running around and trying to fly. There is even a dog running behind him. Ruslan's mother is saying, Ruslan, my boy. Then we have the subconscious, the house. Adult Ruslan is standing in the middle of the house. He knows this interior. Every detail reminds him of his past when his parents were alive and everything seemed to be so sunny and dreamy. And he's coming down the hall and tries to touch the old table where he once was drawing his first images. He's looking around and he can see these old photos on the wall. We can hear the thunder outside. it's getting darker in the house, and there's a strong wind, and it's just hitting the open windows. Ruslan's mother, please, Ruslan, please, please, I don't want to lose you. Small Ruslan is running out and running down the hall. The light becomes even darker. So inside the house, we have this heavy rain. Ruslan feels this spasm that's actually taking his heart. He's trying to feel his heart, and he's falling on his knees. A heavier rain. Laboratory. Research fellow is looking at this device and fixing the heart. Few hundred per minute. His heart simply will lose him. Calm down. This is not for the first time. Don't panic. You want him to die as well? I said stop the panic. Subconscious under the water. The rainwater starts filling the house. Ruslan falls with his head on the floor and goes deep underwater. He's drowning. He does not have any air to breathe. Reality. Laboratory. So Ruslan loses his breath. Research fellow is in panic. Psychologist is simply writing, so the first case of drowning. Okay, then we have the oxygen mask, and Ruslan is still drowning. What to do? The research fellow. Now sit down and stop moving. The experiment is still there. We still haven't finished. He's afraid. He's looking at the psychologist. He may die. He will die in any case. B15 virus is progressing. You will just watch him dying. You will just do that. This is all for science. She's looking at him. I will not help you to kill him. Not with that price. The young research fellow is going out, loudly hitting the door. Psychologist just recording everything in the folder. Subconscious under the water. Ruslan is naked in the water, like an embryo. And now we have these flashbacks from his childhood, from teenage years, from adulthood. So the device says there's no pulse, and psychologist comes to Ruslan, turns the device off, records the time of death, and puts the folder on the table with documents. Next to huge amount of other folders where we have the photos of other patients, and psychologist leaves. Okay, we're still under the water, and the naked Ruslan is in the same position. So he's taken out of the water by someone's hands. Laboratory. Ruslan is finally conscious.
Дякую тобі. Дуже класно читаєш.
Thank you very much. You're reading it very nicely. Thank you. And basically, that's a very good thing when you're trying to get your idea going. And I have actually a couple of questions coming up. But before I do that, I would like to tell our audience that you actually can also have some questions to Kateryna as well, any kind of questions that you would like to have. So basically, I just have to go through our hotline. Basically, so we don't have the hotline, you can just keep on writing us. So, Katya, I would like to start with the very first, very standard questions of how did you get this idea, basically? So, whether this B15 virus is any way connected to the COVID-19 virus. So, was this story written throughout the lockdown period, or there was basically some kind of just idea happening? Well, I'll just start with answering the question from the top. So basically, we had very interesting people, and I'd overall believe that there's a lot of things that we do not know about the psychology of every person. And the idea was born when I was following the people, and I was just observing people and studying psychology. But overall, whether that was the premonition or COVID-19, well, basically, it turned out that I'd had this idea in August 2019, and I was trying to gather the material for work, and I was trying to go through many different articles that I wanted to work with, and I've started to work with the script in December 2019, and I finalized the script in the mid-February 2020. At that very moment, no one knew basically that's what's going to be happening with the lockdown. The lockdown itself wasn't that obvious for us. I just didn't want to make this connection that it might be connected with COVID-19. No, that wasn't my idea. That wasn't my intention. But then when the producers have reread the script and they've said like, okay, cool, there is some kind of thing going on in China, you know, something with 19, so maybe that will be very relevant. And at that moment, I've added up a little bit of things to the story, the masks, and no one knew by that moment that they were going to have the pandemic and the lockdown all over the world. So basically that was done even before all of those bad things happened. So, okay, so we have to blame your script for the lockdown. Yeah, well, possibly, at least in Ukraine. Okay, good. That's very interesting. That's very interesting when you have those things coming on. And basically just wanted to start about this virus in your script because the virus does not exist in your script specifically. We don't see that directly, but as far as I understand, there has to be this lethal effect for anyone who catches this virus. Can you tell us a little bit of your virus? Okay, good. So I just wanted to start that, yes, that this is a deadly virus. Why it is called B15? Well, this scenario is called, the script is called basically the soul of the iceberg. So all of our subconsciousness is underwater. So we used to have this very big iceberg that was called B15, the biggest one, and because of the global warming, it doesn't exist anymore. So just the very same thing with this person, with our main character, because well, he used to be a personality, but in the end, he turns out to be about this one system that is connected with the ocean. You know, like I don't know if I explained it in the right way. So I don't know whether I'm also providing you the subtext that has been included into the script, but yes, this is a deadly virus. This is a daily virus because I just wanted to show that our character has nothing to lose. He has nothing. And I just was thinking about using cancer, but then I thought that no, I'd better try to step aside from cancer, from this horrendous disease, and I should consider some inexistent virus instead. Okay, good. From the directorial point of view, so what is the time frame? What is the time frame for your script? So do you believe that this is the current time on some kind of alternative world, or this is the future timeline, or there's no connection to a specific timing? It doesn't matter. It is future. It is like near future. Oh, I would say that. Okay, so have you thought about how to show all of the things visually? Because right now I'm working on a story that is in the future as well, and I understand that every detail has to be reinvented. So you cannot just take anything from the current time and just show it in the future, put it into the future reality. And in your script, there are loads of hints that this is the future. You don't have the direct hints that this is the future, except for this plot itself. And except for this software, or except for this experiment. So was it really hard for you to consider that? Or maybe you have thought that you will try to do that all together or with the directors in the future? About the very implementation, about the very creation of the film reality, basically everything is already ready. We have already discussed with the DLP how we're going to be doing that, how we're going to be filming that. We already have that time frame by frame. We have talked to our set designer already about what is going to be the best, how can we depict this transition between reality and imaginary and subconsciousness. There's going to be the emphasis for this visual part. There's going to be the breaks out through the scenes. When you're going to get to the subconscious through the lights, through the camera movement, through the editing, through locations. We have already discussed that, yes, it has been already written on the paper. We already created this additional frame by frame drawings. Wow, that's cool. That's cool if you have it. Okay, I would like to remind you that all the questions that you'll have are going to be ready. I can see a couple of the questions coming. But still, I would like to get inside into the core of your story, if you will allow me to do that, and trying to get inside of it, maybe offer some things as well, because I do know that might be really hard for the script writers to find the starting point for the story, so that it wouldn't be way too far and way too near to the main event in the script. And I felt, what I lack a little bit in this story, I don't see the overall exposition for this main character. who he is, what are his problems, because maybe knowing a little bit of the background for this character, it might have been more interesting for us to go into his subconsciousness. If we would already knew his problem, we might find the resolution of it in the end of the story. But like right now, we only meet him in his subconsciousness. So it would have been very interesting for me to learn more about him. You've said that you want to change your story in a bit, so maybe you have thought that you would like to show a little bit of more of your main character at the very beginning. Yes, because I do believe that it's not the ready-made script yet. I would say that this is a draft. Because while I was rereading it, I've seen a lot of smaller moments that I have to rewrite more. And I would agree to what you said, that yes, our character, he's not fully shown. That's true. Well, that's cool. That's cool because basically, visually, this journey into his subconsciousness is very interesting. But when we don't know what are we heading to, what are we looking for, if we don't know this point, then it might be hard. It would have been very interesting just to know that what are we looking for, basically. Because we've had this a little bit of script doctoring session from Pavlo Ostrikov. If you want, contact me. But basically, yes, I'm going to read out some of the questions that we already have in the Zoom. So the soul of the iceberg reminds me of the other roles filmed. Have you been impressed or inspired by this film? I'm going to write it down. I'm going to write this down to watch it, basically. So it's called the other roles. I don't know what kind of film is that, but basically I'll watch it. I'll find it. I'll Google it. Okay, good. So if we are going to speak about some of the referential films, then maybe you have seen this film, The Internal Shining of the Open Mind. So basically, I don't know, this kind of basically, well, this journey is going to be resembling visually your film. No, visually no, because there is going to be it's going to be done in a different way. It's not going to resemble the internal sunshine of the spotless mind. But have you thought about this film when you were making your story? Be honest. Well, you know, Michel Gondry and his creative world is something that I really like. Is something that always inspires me. I haven't thought about him, but maybe when I was writing the script. Well, what I can say with this script, I say that I would. It's an homage. It's a tribute. No, okay. Like I'm kind of admiring the creative word of Michel Gondry. So, okay, when you don't want to say that you're actually borrowing something from the person, you actually can say that it's an homage. That's a joke. That's a joke. But yes, the very good script. Very good script. This is my personal opinion. Yes, very good one. And I would like to congratulate you with that. And I would like to ask Kyrylo, maybe he'll have some questions, because I know he was listening to us. Yes, I was listening to you. Cool. But I would like to add up to what you said. That's basically, if we would know the background of the character, we would know better why he agrees to this experiment, because right now, at this very moment, it seems like, you know, he's being offered, and because he has no other option, he just does it. So he just wanted to go home, and then the experiment is offered to him, and he's like, okay, let's do the experiment, and I'll get home. But I won't get home earlier. So maybe if we had a little bit of background of the character, we would know why he agrees to that, because that sounds like a very risky step to take. Yes, isn't it? And by the way, at the very beginning of the script, in the first version, there were more scenes there, and at the very beginning in the exposition, and there has been more scenes in the subconsciousness as well. Well, we had a broader script from the very beginning, but then we decided to cut it out a little bit. Okay, good. And by the way, I have another question on... Did you ever think about making the story into the full feature film? Because basically all of these things, you know, those conceptual artistic things, they look much better when it is the full length film. I've thought about it, yes, and I've also have been told about it by directors and people who read the script. That most of them told me that it really fits the full-length film better than the short film, just for us to be able to cover the topic. But right now, I I believe, and I just want it to be still the short film, I guess. Okay.
Круто.
Okay, that's cool. That's very cool, because
Хочеш, щоб він був реалізований?
basically I really would like to see this film. I really would like to see this film for everything to be good, because I know it's really hard to make films, but especially it's hard to make films with any kind of sci-fi in it. So yes, I'd really like the audience to see this film. And if you still have questions to Kateryna, dear audience, please, you can do that still throughout our today's reading. So please make sure that you're going to ask your questions. Please use the chat. We're going to read it out. And Katya is going to choose the person who is going to be drinking coffee in the Vagabond Coffee House tomorrow. And we're getting to Kyrylo Zemlyanyi. By the way, I would like to say that he is currently at the year 4 to become a sound director. Am I right? Yes, right you are. Yes, right you are. Okay, cool. Can you please tell us, so how did you decide to switch from the sound directing to directing? I visited Film Wednesdays. Wow. Okay, yes, and I watched different short films, and I really loved what I have seen. And then I was working on many student films as a sound director. I was watching all of it, and I said, like, okay, I would do it differently this way in here, and I would do this way there. And I've talked about it, and then I've decided that I would like to do that on my own, and I got really excited and engaged into that. And now I'm making films and writing scripts. And as far as I'm understood, there's just 1 year for you to study. Well, yes, I'm in the final year of studies right now, so I'm going to be the bachelor. Yeah, so just a couple of months left. Okay, good. So how does it feel to be studying to become a sound director when you already have a film that has already been made as a director and a scriptwriter? Okay, well, that feels nice. Are you still interested to learn to become a sound director? Yes, it is. Because basically the good director should know all of the professions on the set, and it really helps you. It really helps you to work on the set properly. It gives you the better understanding of how it all works, and it gives you the better opportunities to tell all of the other people what I want to have from the sound, for example. So that is very useful. Yes, cool. Okay, good. So if there's something that you would like to say before you're going to start reading your script, then this is the high time for you to do that. This is the high time for you to say something. I will just like to ask you to listen to it, and that's it. Okay, good. So please welcome The Love, miłość by Kyrylo Zemlyanyi. Please, the floor is yours. Okay, good. Scene 1, interior flat of the main character, morning. The camera moves throughout the apartment of our main character, showing the lowness reality. Alexander, he sleeps in his bed, and suddenly his telephone starts to ring. Alexander takes it. Alexander, hello? Коля? Hello, Sasha. There is a client coming to you. They're asking, should he wait for you longer? Alexander, what time is now? Коля, 9. He answers with clicking, okay, tell him half an hour I'll be there. Коля, okay, see ya. Alexander hangs up. The second scene that it's outside at the local market day. At midday, there is the overall kiosk owned by Alexander with additional spare parts. There is Tamara coming up to this kiosk, the lady with a big handle that is a big thermos standing on and 2 pies on it. Tamara, hi, Sanya, do you want some tea? Alexander, hi, yeah, okay. Tamara takes the plastic cup and pours some tea with lemon. Tamara, how are you doing? Alexander, well, it's been better, but there's no trade at all. Tamara, oh yeah, I get it. Tamara gives the tea to Alexander. He passes her 7 hryvnias. Tamara, listen, Sash, do you want today to go to the Empire today? They say that the sushi are there very good. Alexander, Tamar, I don't really like sushis, and I have stuff to do today. Let us do it next time, okay? Tamara, next time? Okay, Sasha, but just think that might not be other time. and have the good tray today. Bye. The lady pushes her tray further on. Alexander stays alone again. The third scene. Interior shop evening. Alexander and two more friends of his, Kolya and Lyoha, are standing in front of the table. There are plastic cups with the vodka in it on the table, and the small parts of the sausages in the plastic plates. Kolya, so what did the judge say? Alexander, that she won half of the apartment and the alimony. That's it. Lyoha, fuck that man, and what are you going to do? Alexander, what I've said before, I'm going to sell my kiosk. I'm going to live here because there's no sense in that. The ex-wife comes into the shop. She steps up to the cashier to buy some bread. Kolya, hey, isn't that your ex standing there? Alexander, fuck my life. After buying some bread, the ex-wife comes up to the table. The ex-wife, instead of drinking here, you should give him the money for your son for additional trainer. He has to pass the external exam soon. Do you know what kind of points he has in the school? Well, standing you here. Well, stay there. Alexander, I didn't get you. You've got it all, his wife says. Goodbye. She leaves. He's ashamed. The seller is looking outside of the cashier. The salesman woman. 150 more? Scene 4, the parking lot, morning. Grigory and Alexander are looking at the car at the parking lot. They're driving in circles, following the car of Alexander. Well, it seems like a normal car. Why are you selling it? Grigory, because we really want to buy the flat for our oldest in Kyiv. He's finalizing his education. Alexander, oh, that costs a lot, doesn't it? Grigory, yeah, but it's not cheap. But Kolya said you're going to go for some work abroad. Alexander, yes, I'm going to go a taxi in Poland and made all of the documents. I leave today. I said I wanted to get to Korotkne for a day to get to my parents at the cemetery to take a look at what the house is going on. It's near Odessa, Grigory says. Yes, yes. Oh, that's very cool by the sea. But what I wanted to tell you, there is one peculiarity about the car. Sometimes the trunk does not close in the best way. So when you just put the sounds twice, I would just check it out. If the trunk isn't closed, then you can do that with a key. Alexander, okay, but I'm going to take it anywhere. Okay, count it all. He gives the money to Grigory. Grigory counts the money. Alexander, so do you need rides? Grigory, no, also I have some things here, but you know that all of the documents are there. Yeah, okay, Alexander says. Grigory, yes, have all the best. The car leaves. Scene 5, the house of Alexander, evening. The car comes up to the fence of the Alexander's native house. The grandmother Helena carries the bucket of water. Alexander comes up from the car and takes the bucket out of Helena's hands. Alexander, good evening, Helena. Good evening. Let me help you. Helena, oh, Sasha, thank you very much. And why are you here, coming to your own houses? Alexander, I'm getting for a job abroad. I just wanted to see how the house going on. Helena, oh, that's very nice. He gets into the fence. Ivan sitting on the bench. Ivan, oh, hi there, Sasha. Alexander, good evening. Ivan, how are you doing? Are you going to visit us for a long time? Alexander, no, just for one evening. Ivan, why are you leaving so fast? Alexander, well, I'm going abroad to earn some money to Poland. Ivan, why are you all going there? There's no people to live here, yes? Helena, oh, just don't listen to this old guy. He just only watches the TV. He never sees what's going on outside. But what I wanted to tell you, our club is working right now. We have the elections in the district. We've had Vilna coming to us and Irina Bila coming to us. It's going to be the dances for people older than 30 years. So just if you have some time, drop in. Ivan, oh, what haven't I see there? He takes Alexander by the hand and whispers him, Ivan, just come with me. I had meant that really nice moonshine, 100% pure. Men are entering the house. Helena is still working in the garden. Scene 6, the street by the club, the overall master plan. The club, there's music sounding from the club. Scene 7, interiors, evening, club. There is the song by Do Not Stay Under the Window by Rusia singer. A couple of women and men are dancing. Allah, a woman of 35 years old, she's holding a poetry book, Petro is coming to dig on her. Petro, oh, Allah, come on, let's go. Allah, Petya, what do you want from me? Petro, this is exactly what I want. Come on, Alla, I'm not going to go with you anywhere. The song ends up. Helena takes the microphone and starts to read out the poem by Lina Kostanko. Helena, I do not know whether I will see you once again or no, or maybe it is not the case at all. The most important is that somewhere far away there is someone who's just as my uncovered thirst. I'm not going to call the happiness that is not mine. My voice will never reach this far. I'm only thinking of you, and I know that you are there, and my soul is getting better just because of that. There is an applause as she is bending her head. And right now, there is the slow dance and men inviting their women, Helena says. Paint Me the Night by Lyubova Tchaikovskaya starting to play. We have seen the couples dancing at the dance floor. Alexander, drunk, he comes into the club. Petro, oh, who's that? Alla, where? Petro, there. Alexander comes up to Alla and says, Alexander, can I invite you to dance? Alla, trying to be very charming, you can. Alla gives the poetry book to Petro. The couple starts its dance, leaving her favorite alone. Alexander, my name is Sasha. Alla, I know. Alexander, how do you know me now? Alla, I remember you from the very first day of school. Alexander, from the very first day of school? Yes, on the very day of school when you were carrying me on your shoulder and I was ringing the bell. Alexander, wow, seriously? Alla, seriously. Alexander, oh, you have nice memory. Alla, I remember everything. They're smiling at one another and continue dancing. We see the angry face of Petro. He's calling out his best man, Vasil. He actually points his finger at Sasha. They're whispering something. Petro passes Alexander and Alla. Petro, bitch. Alexander takes Vasil's shoulder. Alexander, say you're sorry. Petro, well, fuck you, bastard. Alexander hits Petro on the face. He falls. Vasil's running up to Petro, turns back to Alexander. Vasil, are you mad, man? You could have killed this guy. Helena goes to the stage. Everyone stay calm or I'll call the police. Well, everyone is looking at her. Helena, Alla takes Alexander by the hand and they leave the club. Scene 8, by the club night. Alla and Alexander laughing, they run out of the club. Scene 9, the house of Alexander night. The music still plays. They're getting into the house, taking their shoes off, they're kissing, falling into the bed. He takes off his socks. Alla is in her bra. Alexander is trying to unlock her bra. Alexander, damn it, it doesn't open. Alla, what is it that you can't open? Let me. The bra folds up. We can see the overall the connection between legs and hands. The music does not end. We're getting our shots to the main bug with the preservation that are being broken. Scene 10, the house of Alexander night. Alla is lying on Sasha's chest and she's waking up by the burst. Alla, what is that? Alexander, that's okay, just sleep. Alla, Sash, I was so in love with you in school, and you have never noticed me at all. Alexander, really? Seriously? Alla, seriously? Alexander, well, you see what happens in life. Alla, well, you know, sometimes you walk out with your guitar to the stage, and I can say nothing to you. My heart is jumping out of my chest, but I'm so afraid. Alexander, oh, okay, let us just sleep. Alexander throws back to the other side from Alla. Alla, do you like me? Alexander, well, what kind of questions is that? Of course I like you. Alla, well, those are the questions. Okay, good night. Alla turns back to the other side. She looks at Alexander for a couple of times, whether he haven't turned his side. Scene 11, the house of Alexander morning. Alla is by the stove. Alexander is trying to clean the preservation from the floor. Alexander, so why did they make so many preservations? Why it's not used? Alla, sit by the table. Let us have some food. Alexander, I will just take a look so whether we haven't forgotten anything. Alla, let's do it fast for it to be warm still. Alexander leaves for the cellar. He comes back, sits by the table. Alla, so haven't you forgot anything? Everything's in place, Alexander says. Alexander sits and starts eating. Alla, okay. Alexander, thank you very much. It was all very tasty. Alla, my pleasure. Let us eat and go to the beach, okay? Alexander, still chewing. Okay. The beach morning, scene 12. Alla and Alexander sitting on the beach and they're following the sun rising over the sea. her head on his shoulder. She hugs him and pets him. Allah, Sash, maybe you will stay for the summer. We'll live together. I will rent out the houses and you're going to help me out. You're going to renovate them. We'll have enough money. Don't worry about that. Alexander, well, Allah, how can I stay? I have to go. I've already had my agreements with the companies. Allah, okay, well, can't you just take it down? Alexander, no, I can't. Allah, can I go with you? Alexander, well, you know, we basically do not know one another. Allah, but I have a feeling that I know you better than I know myself. Alexander, well, I can't do that. Really, I can't do that. I like you very much, but it won't work out. You know that. Allah, I don't. Allah stands up, takes her towel and leaves. Allah, okay, Sash, you'll tell me later how it felt in Poland. Alexander, Allah, why are you doing this? Alexander stays alone. Again saying, damn it. Scene 13. On the way to Poland morning, there is a car that drives on an empty road and suddenly the tire is being burst out. Alexander stops at the curb. He takes a look at what is going on. He sees that the wheel is bad, so he's coming to take a look and try to get the other one. He opens the truck and there is Allah in the trunk. Alexander, why are you there? Allah's face is getting red. She starts to cry out, Sasha, I'm sorry, I can't stay without you. Alexander, are you stupid at all? What would I do at the customs? Allah, I don't know what I would do. I love you. Where is the wheel? Alexander asked. I didn't fit into the trunk. Please do not shout at me, Alexander. Not shout at you. They're gonna get me into the prison because of you. Do not shout at me. How can I shout at you? Jump cut. Scene 14 on the roadway to Poland, evening. The sun sits down. The character, our hero, sitting at the curb waiting for the wheel. Brother Zhegorzhavsky's song, The Destiny Has Its Own Spring, song plays on the background. Allah, is it going to be here soon? Alexander, no. Silence. Allah, Sasha? Alexander, what? Allah, have you forgiven me? Alexander, never mind. Allah, okay, that's okay, because I'm worrying about that. Alexander, you have got into the trunk because of me and you thought that we will pass like that? Allah, well, yes. Alexander, how stupid you are. Do you even have a passport, foreign passport? Allah, yes, I do. Alexander, well, you know, the evacuator is going to be here right now. We'll take your passport and we'll go. Allah, really? Alexander, really? Allah, well, then maybe we'll just leave just in the 2 days, maybe? Slightly later, Alexander, why 2 days? They'll wait for me there tomorrow. Allah answers him, well, you know that it's just when you told me that on the beach, I was so angry and I went out. Well, you know, it's that just, that's, she bends her head and she shows him that his passport is all turned out. Scene 15, after the credits, the way to Poland, evening, the overall road. Allah, please, I'm sorry, Sasha, I didn't know that we're going to go together. Allah is saying sorry and trying to get Sasha that walks alone all over the road. Thank you. Thank you, Kyrylo. That was the miłość, the love script. Okay, good. Well, thank you very much. So basically, I congratulate you with the script, with this readout of the script. So I guess the first question is, do you have a producer? Yes. Yes. Good. Yes, her name is... Yes, have you applied to a pitching? Oh, no, I don't know, at this very pitching or just to the pitching. Yes, we have applied for a couple of pitchings, one that happened at Odessa Film Festival. I don't remember like what was the Kira Muratova competition of the scripts, but we haven't won anything there. And this very pitching by the State Film Agency, we're going to apply that too. Okay, so I'm going to ask you still, because I have seen this thing behind you, because like, you said that you would like to have some money for the film. Yes, I see that message. Yeah, I would really love to have that. But if you have a producer, if you have the plan, then I'm sure that the money will come. The money will come, I hope. Okay, but please tell us, how did you get this idea to write the script? Because basically, I remember one of the versions of the script, as far as I remember, I can say one of this draft of it, because you've sent the version of the script once to me as well, and it would be very interesting just to go about this, because the story, this is basically for a very long time with you.
Okay, a year ago, me and my friend, we just were walking around the dormitory, and we were telling this story about a car. So we wanted to buy a car to go elsewhere, you know, to Azov Sea or whatever in our own car. So yeah, I was thinking about it for quite a long time. Buying a car is wool. I don't know, why do we need to cut the roof? Anyway, and I remembered my father. Would he do that or not? And I simply thought that what would happen? My father also sells car parts, and he's not very satisfied with his life. It was really interesting for me. What would happen if he decided to start traveling, to become a nomad? If he became a nomad, what would happen? You know, it was really interesting for me. Okay, so the main hero is the prototype of your father. Yes, well, in some way, maybe he is. And yeah, it seems to me he is. Okay, I simply want to know that you were reading really. It was great. It was a great read through. Yeah, so if we do have directors watching the stream, please take Kirill and Kateryna. Take them as actors. Definitely. It's really great. It's really great that you do feel the script, and you know how you read it, how you just present it. Really kind of feel. We know what the hero is already, and who he is, or who she is. So I come to this question about this pigeon. Okay, do you use this mix of Russian, Ukrainian, or do your parents use it? Do they use this mix, or this is just something that your heroes do? Your characters do use. Okay, I don't use it. My parents as well, they don't. But wow, from language context in the country, you can see that I'm not sure the majority of people use Ukrainian, speak Ukrainian, but they really want to. And someone uses Russian, someone uses Ukrainian, and how can we tie it just in this specific way? This will be natural, and it will not sound like it sounds not like something artificial. It sounds very authentic, like I heard it from people in Vinnytsia or Poltava. I just took it from real life, and this is something that is natural for characters and their regions, their locations. It's something typical. So I think it's organic. I can see so many movies with this fluent Ukrainian but crystallized Ukrainian. It does not look natural to me when they use this plain Ukrainian or very correct, you know, very filtered language. Was that an answer to your question? So actually, I told everything already. Okay, I was just thinking about it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think I answered that. Yeah. I do hope, because I heard nothing. I'm sorry, that was my connection. Again, another question about this language mix. For me, quite often people ask me, why in my movies, why in my films, I do have this phenomenon. I really want to get some other answers to use it as a justification. Your pigeon, so you pick some specific regions for your mix, or you're just observing people like in Kyiv? Is there any specific dialect for this pigeon? No, there's no specific dialect. It's just these are Ukrainian words and Russian words. So I've been to these markets. My dad works in a market, and I just go to the market and I talk to people. I listen to people talking, and so I try to combine it, Ukrainian and Russian, because people do use both languages here. They're mostly bilingual, and it's pretty clear. Both do understand what the other party wants to say. So, yeah, it's like it. Good. So I do remind our audience before my next question that you also have a chance, you need a chance to ask your questions. Ask Kirill and Kateryna, of course. So, because so far, I'm the only one who'll drink the coffee in the Vagabond. Okay? I'm the winner right now because no one else wants to. What's happening, people? We're getting rid of the lockdown on May 1st. So, okay, an interesting question. And the script. I'm asking this about the script. You're the second person in the world who actually heard about this. No, and how did it happen? Where did you pick those? And I thought that only in Khmelnytsk region people do know these people where I'm from. So you're from Khmelnytsk region, or how did you pick these? I was in a bar, and they were showing films, and in the very end, there was a song by Brother Zhigazhevsky, and yeah. And I felt, whoa, I felt for it. I love those, those performers. I heard the song, I just fell for it. And they have a very nice statement. I have one love in one song. Yeah, that's a match. For my film, that's definitely a match. So I need to have the song there. And I simply wrote them in social media about the copyright, and that's a yes. Well, that was really great. They said yes, it really works. So I used Instagram to negotiate previously, but here we can combine everything, and it will be really good. Good, great. I don't know if it may work next time, but at least we're trying. Okay, at least we're trying. So if we approach the brothers, this is a really interesting band. These are twins. These guys are twins, and I think that these guys, these brothers, they must be more famous. They definitely gain more popularity. They're really authentic, really interesting with their own songs, and very original. Cool. It's so cool you actually took their music, took this idea. Okay, another question we do have. I know that you actually won a prize for this script. Yeah, you did? Did it help you somehow to understand that your script is interesting? That it gave you some more confidence, maybe, this prize. What did it do for you? It was really nice. I did not expect that to happen, that you can just win something like it, And Zhana Zirina helped us a lot. We had a producer support. And they gave us Zhana as a script doctor, and we had a couple of sessions with her. That was really great. And then we had a certificate for 30,000. We used it. Huge gratitude for it to the festival wizard. So I can't say my life changed, but okay, about confidence. Well, I finally understood that the foundation, we have a foundation. I have a certain foundation, and I finally can start building something on it, work on it. After Wizard, I did not change it that radically. Just a couple of words, dialogues. I added a scene. I don't know. Still, it holds on to the backbone of the script. Okay, I again will have a question about the script itself. It do allow me to go deeper into the script. So, an interesting way to understand what the village club is. Did you hear the stories, or you were just fantasizing about this club thing, this whole club activity? I used to stay once in a village club, and it does not look like your club. Usually in this club, they're drinking, they're smoking cigarettes, and they're dancing with some old school music. Maybe I saw it somewhere that they do it, but usually, maybe I tried to make the head of the village council, make her romantic, poetry, reading poetry in a club for her. This may be okay. For example, she goes and reads poems everywhere because she loves doing it. I had some headmasters at schools. They really loved it, and everyone is listening because they have to. This is like the headmaster of the school, and they use it, and they gather the audience and they read these poems or sing songs. So the head of the village council, she's like that. She's a lady, loves to be respected by people, and she loves poetry. So she reads the poems to be respected by people. She has 3 poems for one concert, and in such a way she brings people. She gives a certain attitude to people. Before a certain dance, she gives a poem. For another dance, she gives another poem. So yeah. So she's like she's emotionally triggering people in some way. Yeah. Okay, I'll want to remind people, okay, do not hesitate. Please ask questions, because when the stream is over, you will be left alone with your question, and that will hurt. Yeah, that will. So I want to ask Kateryna, maybe. Katya, do you have a question to Kirill, or you just want to tell something about the script? Yeah, I have this question, like, as you're a student and you have another major, where actually you learn to write the scripts, screenwriting? Well, actually, from the very beginning, I was reading different books. Firstly, I was watching the master classes when we won the special prize movie review. Except this piece of paper, we actually got this invitation to the terrarium course 1 or 2 weeks, but this helped me a lot with Volodymyr. And if there are some free of charge lectures or workshops or webinars, I try to register and go there and listen and capture everything, because it usually is very useful. It's great. I just want to ask, do you concentrate on this scenario, or you already think about something else, or you start already working with a different story? I'm fully concentrated on this. This is like yeah, head over heels, if I can say that. Good, great. And another question. It's not. It's out of the script, I would say. It's off the record. What question do you ask yourself every day? What is your routine question? What do you ask yourself? Whoa! That's philosophic. That's hard, of course. Just beyond the script, what I ask myself. Can I think for a little bit, because it's like yeah, it's a piece of philosophy. Okay, I'll ask Katya right now a mirroring question. Where did you learn to write scripts? Is it actually a part of the course, a director's course? I wasn't there, so it's interesting for me because I have some details. When the characters arise, you have this caps lock, and you do that. And I don't see that very often, putting that caps lock for the character's entry, and it's really cool. So we actually did have it, dramaturgy and the screenwriting. We had 2 different. Did it for 4 years. Yeah, and I'm so grateful to these people because teachers gave us a lot, really a lot, and I'm still reading these books. I'm reading that, and I'm still learning. Live and learn, in that case as well. I Aron Sorokin's master classes. I downloaded these, and Hollywood master classes. I'm reading books as well. I talk to Maria Repulova a lot, Natalka Vorozhbit. They're masters. They inspire me so much. And every time when I can show them something, and I really wait to get their feedback, and I'm so happy that they actually give me some time. You have something to learn from them.
Ну, можна піти навчатися на режисера і при цьому ще паралельно
So cool. So you can go to study to be a director, and basically you can learn how to write script. Yes, and I do believe that the directors, they should know how to do that. They should know how to do that, definitely. Good,
абітурієнти,
cool.
які
So
хочуть
okay,
стати
if we have
юристом,
the
як
students who really would like to go
що
to
можна
become lawyers, like I used to want to do, so just please be aware that you can take a different path. So okay, Kyrylo, have you got inside of your subconsciousness to answer the question? So what kind of answer can you offer us? Well, yes, well, basically I have had a lot of questions to myself every day and every moment, but if we try to, at the very beginning of the morning, I think that I'll maybe just work as like some kind of motivator or demotivator in this case, but I usually think about it like this. Well, you know, I've woken up, I've had my breakfast. Now it's the time for me to do some serious stuff. And what should I do? How should I make it possible so I would be a better person today than I was yesterday? So how can I get smarter? How can I get the new skills working on? What kind of things I can do actually? For me, not to get, as Alexander Sokurov has said, that in theory you're good, because you know he said like the tautology of existence. So we didn't have this duplication of existence. So that's all of my days was different than the previous ones than another. So that would be some certain development in place. Well, you know, we're getting older every day. So it's definitely going to be different person every day. Okay, that doesn't call me. Yeah, okay, good, cool. Always there to be. We have a very funny stream today, you know. I actually wanted to ask you, can we invite you to work as a sound director for the filming? So whether you consider these offers right now or all of you. So yeah, I think you should call Sergey Avdeyev. He's much better than I am. Okay, I've got it. Okay, I've got it. Well, you can invite me to be the first ID. Or to be a script supervisor with the director's group. I really would like to work with the director's group, basically.
Поганий зв'язок.
Okay, okay, I have bad connection. I can't really hear you, but no, I think that I can repeat myself. No, I can. No, that was a joke. That was a joke. Okay, of course, I would like to invite you. I'll invite you if I have this chance. Cool, cool, deal. Thank you. Okay, that might have been the end of it, but I know that you have the teaser for the script, for the miłość, for the love script, and I think that is a high time for us to watch this teaser, because basically the teasers for the script is a luxury, but this is the very cool luxury that really helps you out to get inside of this atmosphere. So please let us watch the teaser for Kyrylo Zemlyanyi's script, Love, miłość.
Ой, холодно сьогодні. Дуже холодно.
Таке літо було.
Yes, but the summer was cold as well. That's all because of you. It's all because of you made me a scene. What are you laughing at? Caught a laughter? No, I have just had this idea. What have you thought about that? I want you to stay. Just think of it. I'm going to be renting out the houses by the sea. You're going to be renovating those. Cool, isn't it? We have enough money, why not? Well, yeah, like I can't stay. Well, just stay, but I have to go. I've already an agreement with the company, like do not start with that. But why not? Why not? We can do something about it. What can we do about it? You can't. Okay, we can't do nothing about it. Then, so what? So what? Then I'm go with you? Can I?
Ми з тобою майже не знаємо одного.
We do not know one another, but I have the feeling that I know you better than I know myself. We can't do that, Allah. I like you very much, that's true. But I can't do that. You understand that, do you? Yes, I don't. What? Allah? Allah. You just like tell me how it felt in Poland. Please do not start. Don't do that.
Колись той перший день, ти вернешся і все згадаєш знов. Я хочу, щоб збулись слова пісень, я хочу, щоб збулась любов. У тебе любов одна, у мене любов одна, крізь роки несе вона, у той найперший день, у щастя своя струна, у долі своя весна, хай буде завжди вона, полонів пісень, ла-ла-лай, ла-лай.
Клас, у нас тут
That was very cool. You know, we have a fan club here for the brothers, from the Zagrzewski brothers. And yes, by the way, very cool teaser. Very cool teaser. It's very minimalistic and very real. And I do believe that it's very good one. A good one, definitely. Okay, by the way, have you thought about the overall style of the film? And I think that is basically the film, the question for the both of you. Have you thought about the specific cast or the specific actors or about the overall ambience of the film? So basically that is the question to the both of you. Katya? So I think you can start basically. Okay, good, I'll start then. About the overall style and the ambience of the film, yes. So I do believe that each scene is going to be in the specific color, in a specific color palette. And overall, as I've already said, so we have thought about all of the movements of the camera, all of the lightings, and we're currently working at the overall lighting schemes on how it will be all done. And the actors actually have some of the actors that I see straight away. For example, Zoe Baranovskaya as the psychologist. But speaking about the main character, I still believe that I need to have additional casting done. We have some certain candidates, but we need to talk it all through with them. We have to do some rehearsals and to make it the overall pair castings, so just for us to understand whether people fit with one another. Cool, thank you. That's clear. Kyrylo, what about you? Well, speaking about the overall style of the film, I think that we have already decided upon that. We don't have anything specific when we're going to change the style of the scenes from scene to scene. We basically, everything starts with more or less moving camera. Then we're going to be tracking the emotional situation, the emotional state of our character. And basically, by the end of the film, we're becoming more static. So as it's been taught in all of our film classes, so we're doing the static shots that is going to be very nice in composition and perfect in the composition. That is how it's going to do that. On castings, yes, we have all of our actors approved. We have Irina Banyuk as Alla and Vyacheslav Duzhenko as Sasha. So you already have these actors approved? Yes, but there are different actors in the teaser, but you don't have the filming schedule yet. We've had one filming day already. We had one filming day already just to use the certificate by Patriot Rental because it kind of the deadline was in April, so that is why we already had one filming day. That was the scene in the club. Okay, so basically, so it's almost 116 made. Yeah, we can say that. We can say that. I would say 113 made. Okay, cool. I have another question coming. I have another question. We'll start with Kyrylo this time. Did you have any challenges while you were writing the script, and what were the challenges overall? And the second idea was this mixed up language was borrowed from a specific district in Odessa region. And yes, okay. So answering the first question, what were the challenges? What were the challenges?
Ну, були складнощі з тим, з чого почати історію.
I had some challenges with figuring out how to start the story. Should I cut out the beginning or should I not? What was important to be shown, what was not? Then we have been thinking about this final, whether we do the twist or no. The story has been rewritten multiple times. The story has changed at least 3 times dramatically. But then there was like more times that the story has been rewritten with the minor changes. So I think the hardest thing was just to say that I kind of like this option and to stick to this option, because you're writing it, you don't like it, you're writing so you hate it again, then you're getting to the certain point when you like everything, and that's the best.
Щодо суржику і одеського.
Speaking about the mixed language, the mix between Ukrainian and Russian language, and for this Odessa region and Odessa dialect overall, then the thing is that it's not a specific regional dialect at all. That's just that this Paula, she's you know, her origins is not Odessa. You know, her parents are from the Western Ukraine, so that's why like that. Okay, by the way, that was a question by Vasil Malishko, just for us to keep in mind. And from the Primorsk. And there is another question to Katya as well. So did you have any challenges and difficulties while you were writing the script? And if there were some, so what were they?
Kyrylo?
So the floor is yours. Yeah, but I think I've answered this question before. Yes, I know, but yeah, I was asking whether some challenges about the scripts. Oh, okay. So yeah, there were some challenges while writing the script. There's always some challenges, especially that's the hardest thing to write the dialogues. And I believe that working with the script, you have to keep on constantly working with the script. You have to constantly tighten it up. So basically, that's what I do right now. But the difficulties were the challenges mostly with the dialogues. So that to make the film more integral, because basically I've said that we've cut it out and we have to do that all together. I have to improve it just to have the full story in it. Even though it hasn't been full because some of the scenes have been cut out, but I just wanted to make it complete. The dialogue and the integrity, that was the thing. If I'll try to be brief. Okay, got it. Another question from Victoria, coming to you. Have you applied to the state film agency budgeting, and how are you going to find the money for the films?
Будемо подаватися на Держкіно.
We're going to apply. We're going to apply to the state films agency financing. Our team is going to be applying with this film. How to find the money? Well, I think that for the first shift that we've had, we have used the certificate that we had for this 30,000 hryvnias from the Patriot rental. I've spent all of the money that I've earned while working on the TV series. So I think that this is why we had this note here. So just give me money for filming, because basically we believe that we're going to win through the pitch, but we really would like to have this money. We would like to have this film made. Okay, Katya, what about you? Well, thank you for this question. We have applied for the state films agency financing last year, but we didn't pass. the selection, and I understand why. And right now we're going to apply with a different script, with different producers of the different topic, but for, again, this pitching by the State Film Agency, and let's see what's going to happen next. Yes, by the way, I would like to wish, like I congratulate you in advance, and I would like to wish you all the best, and I'd like to wish those scripts to be implemented, to be made, because we have really enjoyed it while you were reading those. I'm sure that you can choose this lucky person who have made the most interesting question, and I would like to remind you, among the questions that we've had today, we had Olana, you've asked
Душа
Kateryna
айсберга нагадує фільм
whether the
інші
soul of icebergs reminds you of a film, The Other Roles. The question by Vasil Malishka were the challenges of writing the script, and Victoria's question of whether you applied to the state agencies, state film agencies pitching. And there has been lots of many interesting questions from me. So okay, can we just give coffee to you and to people? Both options. Well, I think just give the coffee to the people, because I'm not a person at all. I do not deserve coffee. Well, we have these 3 finalists, and you have to choose. You have to choose those people who are going to have some coffee in Vagabond. I really like the question about the Odessa dialect, about the mixture between Ukrainian and Russian language in Odessa region. So this is one I liked. So Vasil Malishka's question. Congratulations to Vasil and Katya. Yeah, Victoria's question.
Клас.
Okay, Victoria's question. Thank you. Cool. So Vasil, Victoria, please come to the Vagabond Cafe, Vagabond Coffee Shop. Order the coffee on our account. I would recommend you take the Americano. So, okay, so our reading is going to be closed up for today, and I would like to remind you briefly that it's not the final Wednesday that is going to happen right now. On the 5th of March, we're going to have Alexandra Kostina, the producer, talking with us. So please follow the news, please follow the Film Wednesday and stay with us. And please stay creative, be creative and create something new. And today we've had Kyrylo Zemlyanyi, we've had Kateryna Kotsyuba with us. They have shared their interesting script with us, and I would like to once again wish them to create, to make their scripts into films as fast as possible. Thank you. Thank you. So thank you very much for your attention, and bye-bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye.
Так.